Blood and Sorcery, Paranormal Romance with a Steampunk Edge, Coven Enforcers, Book 2. Written by Gimpel. Narrated by Hollie Jackson. Chapter 1. Salt Lake City, Utah Territory. Breana Giraud bolted upright in her bed, the darkness around her shattering into fire-tinged motes of black. Heart thudding hard against her chest, throat constricted with fear, she reached for power, intent on shrouding herself in a protective spell. God damn her husband. He was at it again. It was like him to wait until she was sleeping, and she had to sleep sometime. Once upon a time she'd cared about Dawn, a witch with power to match her own. But he'd been seduced by the dark and become deeply entrenched in Black Magick. Shielding herself against him drained her, but she didn't have any choice. Sucking air around the narrow place that used to be her throat, she sent magic spiraling outward. She didn't sense him near, but the enchantment that just dragged her from a sound sleep had Dawn's name and sliminess stamped all over it. Her eyes snapped open. Dawn was dead. Dead. What the hell was happening to her? He couldn't harm her anymore, so why was his stench all over the room? It wasn't even the bedroom they'd shared. She'd moved to the far end of the hall to escape the horrible memories that swamped her every time she thought about him. Guess that didn't work very well. She pressed her tongue hard against her teeth and reached for her magic again. Surely she could summon a mage light. Simplest of spells, it required almost nothing in the way of power. Finally, after she was shaking and sweating with effort, a wavery blue light formed, casting the bedroom in eerie shadows. Breana urged her light to burn hotter, brighter. Her teeth were chattering, and she felt as if she'd never be warm again. Icy sweat dripped down her sides. She tugged the heavy wool blanket around her shuddering form, but it didn't help, so she dragged air hard into lungs that had nearly forgotten how to cooperate, and then did it again, and again, until she was able to clamp her jaws in a harsh, desperate line. Her light flickered and brightened, and the ball of fear making it hard to breathe eased the slightest bit. Falling back asleep was laughable, so she dug her way out from under the covers and pulled a robe woven from soft, cream-colored wool over her linen nightdress. Sheepskin slippers came next. At least the god-awful chill that had permeated the air was dissipating, and the reek of evil along with it. Brimstone held a sulfur taint that burned the back of her throat and made her skin prickle with a million points of discomfort. She blinked back tears as she made her way downstairs, her mage light bouncing over one shoulder. The dark had taken both her husband.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?